Hi fellas, Nige back here again, and today I've got an inbox review of Kinetic's FRS.1 Royal Navy Sea Harrier. Okay, this one, there's one that was, it's the first Sea Harrier, and these schemes are from the early 80s, early to mid 80s, 81 to 82, and then for the Falklands War. And then after that, so this is going to be my build for the Waterson modern warfare group build that we're having over on Facebook. So without further ado, we'll go over to the overhead and we'll get cracking. So we start off as normal with the actual booklet itself, the instruction booklet. It's got it's all black and white rendering on the front with a little bit of a spiel on there, and then tools you need and all that sort of stuff of how to build it and what to look out for. Moving straight on the inside, we've got a sprue map, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sprues. Okay, some of these might be duplicate for weapons and all that sort of stuff, but we'll look at that in a minute. Moving on to the paints, we've got Humbrol, Mr. Colour, Atelier, Tamiya, Ammo Mig, and Vallejo, and Model Core Air. Okay, then we move on to the actual instructions. As you can see, we start with a cockpit tub as per normal, with the seat going together, going into the cockpit tub. It's a little bit all over the place in a way. It's not ideal. So you've got your tub, then your seat, and then you've got your two bits going together, and then you've got the compressor fan going on to the part of the wheel bay, and then going on to the back of the actual cockpit. We then move on to putting the air brake together. Obviously you're not going to attach this at this point because it'll just keep you getting knocked off. Moving on to then putting the everything together with the movable parts for the actual the nozzles themselves. Once we've done that, we then move on to putting the intakes and the actual I don't know, vanes or fan, whatever you want to call them. Being careful to make sure you get the right one. If you are depicting this aircraft at rest, they want to be open in some instances, so the top ones will be open, the bottom ones will be closed. And if you are actually doing it in flight, getting a figure on what have you, they all need to be closed, I believe. And then I'm going to put the wings on together, and then putting everything, well, not everything, putting another part on the back of the cockpit. Moving on to the wheels, so the nose wheel, the main wheel and wheel doors, whether you want them open or closed. Putting the nose on. Then we move on to some of the ordnance, so fuel tanks, some of the missiles, rockets, bombs, whatever you want to call them. We've got some more armaments just there. The gun pods, so they're the cannon pods, multi-rocket pods, a bomb, and all the bits and pieces. Then how they all go together onto the actual aircraft, and picking which one you want to use for whichever loadout you are using. Okay. And then we're putting on all the lumps and bumps, so all the fins, the pitot tubes, the refueling probe, canopy, you know, all the bits and pieces. And then we move on to putting the flaps on and the tail, and then we move on to the colour callouts. So the first three aircraft you can see here are all from just before the Falklands War. So it would have been like on the box art, that grey bluey upper side with white belly as shown over here. Okay, with the bigger roundels, and you get some some markings and who flew it, all that sort of stuff. And then we move on to the actual aircraft that was flown during the Falklands War. Now, some of these were painted en route, and some of them were painted before they went down there. The ones that went down there originally were painted en route, and the ones that were meant to be going down that they got from the RAF, I believe, were then overpainted before they were actually sent down. So some of them, as you can see, while sailing south, white on the sides. The first number of the side codes, pilot names and the fin markings were overpainted extra dark sea grey by brush. Okay, obviously we're not going to depict that by brush in here, but that's just something to bear in mind, that some of these numbers and what have you were painted over as we're on track. And this is the Royal Navy, okay, so these will be painted over by brush. You got another one. This one's from, let's say, HMS Invincible, okay. Another one for Operation Corporate, another one from Invincible, and as you can see, extra dark sea grey with the BS numbers. These ones were let's have a look, en route to late April, mid-May. So these ones were painted en route. These ones were painted after. Okay, so it's a medium sea grey as opposed to a dark sea grey, just down there. Obviously, I'm going to do a lot more research on this. Then we have the upper and lowers. Then we've got 1983. So all the 1983, 1988. So it started getting some more of the actual squadron markings on there. July 1982, Yolverton, July 31st, 1982, which was then deployed to the South Atlantic on board HMS Illustrious between August and December, so that would arrive just after. And then we've got a Indian Naval Air Squadron from 1983, so that's quite a cool one. All right, another one from the Indian, 2005, so even more modern one. And then we've got all the actual markings, not the markings, the stencil data that needs to go on these aircraft. Okay, so that's the instructions. Quite busy. First up, because they're actually on the top, is the decal sheet. Now, don't let this, worry you, because it's got all the pilots that have flown it, so you can make up any number you want. So you can see that they're all individual numbers. Okay, so we've got your ones all the way through to your zero, so you've got your tens and ones and all that sort of stuff in all the different sizes. And then I think they might be the squadron codes and all that sort of stuff. Okay, designed by Cross Delta and printed by Cartographs, so I can't see these having any problems at all. They look really, really nice. Maybe a little bit too shiny for my liking, but other than that, they look really, really nice. And then we'll move on to the actual aircraft itself, the grey plastic, starting with the main fuselage. So here we are. Okay, so some nice grey plastic. Okay, and little bits of detail all over. Nice recessed panel lines and rivets. Okay, touch of flash on parts, just so that you can see there. Okay, no inside detail to speak of. Again, some nice detail on the lower fin. I don't know if we'll be able to get that at the right angle. There we are. Okay, is it the rear one? They're the rear. I think they're the rear part where the actual nozzles come out, and so it's like a heat shield. Next up, we have got some of the ordnance and the upper wings. So really nice big upper wing. Hopefully we won't have many seam lines or anything like that, but again, little bits of flash that needs to be taken care of. Okay, nothing major, just something to watch that can stop this going together really well. The rocket pods, I have to have a look at them. They're going to be interesting painting because obviously I don't think they're going to all be the same colour. Bit tube, and then part of the air brake with some nice detail in there. Okay. Oh, interesting. We have another wing section. Now, I don't know why we've got two different ones. Might have been because there was two slightly different types. Let's see if we can have a look. Oops, sorry about that. Okay. You know what? Oh, here we are. Okay, so can you see just that bit there? See how that's flat, and this bit here, it's got more of a pronounced point. So that for me is the main difference I can see. So you would have to watch for that. Okay, you really want to watch for that. I didn't see that on the sprue map, so I wonder if this is a later edition or whether one of them's for the later Mark II Sea Harrier. Okay, again, some nice rivet detail across the spine and in the actual some of the panels. In that bag we have some of the cockpit parts, so the main cockpit, front, the actual tub itself, part of the seat just there, these bits for the actual horizontal stabilizers. We've got the fan and the actual intakes. That's part of the front wheel well, I believe, and again some nice detail on the two instrument panels depending on which one you're doing. Okay, the next one we have next sprue we have the Outriggers. Okay, the Outriggers are on there. The nose, is that the nose one? Yeah, I believe that's the nose one because that's the main undercarriage. The control surfaces and wheel bay covers, as well as the these are like I believe these go over the wing. They're like fins on top of the wing, but I'm not 100% certain. And then just all the lumps and bumps that are needed. Again, looking at it, really nicely moulded, not too much flash. Okay, you can see some of the nice detail in that air brake. And then we have more of the some of the parts. So what's really nice about this, okay, is you get one piece engine nozzles. Yes, there is a seam right down the middle, but I'd rather have that than a seam right down the middle that you have to get rid of. So that's really nice. Two-part wheels, but with separate hubs. Okay, so that's the main wheel hub just there, and then the front wheel. Again, some really nice detail in there. Gun pods and pylons, as well as the air brake and part of the cockpit. The next one is all of the ordnance, and is two of these. So, yep, two identical. So, bigger tanks via small ones, rockets and missiles and all that sort of stuff. yeah, there's going to be a parting line, whatever you want to call it, going down. It will have to get rid of separate, and then maybe drill out the nozzles for the air-to-air missiles, unless that's... No, wait a minute, scratch that. I believe those bits there will do that, so they go on the where the exhaust comes out of. They'll go on the back there, or on that one. It might be on that one. I'm not certain until we get to build it. Okay, some more of the little fins and what have you for them all, and some more pylons, and the actual release mechanisms. So again, some really nice detail. We've got, I'm not going to take it out, a small photo etched part. Okay, so again, they are, I think, heat shields that go near the engine, and these are the like fins that go on the leading edge of the wings. Okay, so, but it's quite thick really, but you know, it shouldn't be too bad. And then we move on to the last part, which is the actual clear parts. And as you can see, we've got two canopy types, so 1, 2, both with a deck cord in there. That one being smaller than that one, and if you didn't notice, there are decals to go into that, which I don't know how easy those decals are going to go on. I'm just wondering if I'd be able to mask it maybe and paint it. I don't know, that'll be something to cross the bridge when I come to it. Also, as you can see, it's got a windshield wiper. But really crystal clear, really nice. No seams or anything like that. So yeah, so that's the clear parts. So fellas, that is Kinetic Sea Harrier, the Mark 1, the FRS.1. Looks like a really nice kit. It has been out a while now. I don't know how long exactly, but I know it's been out a while, and some people have built it and some people have problems with it, you know, but this one is really the only one in the game for this scale. The only other one that I'm aware of for in this scale is the Tamiya one, and that is showing its age. Raised panel lines. It's got a really bad fitting part on the above the fan blades. It's like a cover that goes over the top of the fan blade on the spine, and there's no detail whatsoever. Though Ian Chalky White did do a really cracking job of it. Saying he's not an aircraft builder, he did a really cracking job of it. Yeah, I think he re-riveted it and all that sort of stuff. So it looked really, really smashing when he finished with it. So this one, it's a more modern kit, as you can see from the overhead shots when we looked at it. But it could still cause problems within the build. I know it's not the easiest build, but we do care and attention. It should build up to a nice looking Sea Harrier, and it'll be one to add to the collection. Okay, so that's it for now, fellas. I hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.